Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Anguilla. We are back where it all began. We are back where it all began. This is the beautiful Britain Norman Islander. I've been flying the CRJ for the last week. I did a test in Sim Update 11 with the CRJ, and I just fell in love with the airplane again. And so I've been flying it pretty much nonstop for the last week. Been meaning to get back into this plane. Alright, let's go. Rotating beacon on, external power supply on, mixtures and props full forward, master and battery switches on, fuel pumps on, fuel valves are open, magnetos are on, throttles are cracked. I mean, my brain is still working, it seems like, for this airplane. Make sure there's nobody outside to kill or maim. And there's a good start. There we go. Oil pressure is good. Nobody over there to hurt. Good start. Oil pressure is good. Avionics master and battery switches on. Let's lean the mixtures for taxi, nav, and strobe lights coming on. Let me think. What was I gonna say? I have the headset setting on, like headset simulation. Which I actually think is pretty cool. I have it on for the jet. I actually kind of like it, although you do really like the roar of the engines in this airplane. Alright, fuel pumps coming off. And alright, let's get rolling here. Anguilla traffic, Anguilla 264, taxi to runway 11 via taxiway Bravo, Anguilla. And what we're going to do now that we've tested the parking brake. I don't know if you guys knew that was on the checklist, parking brake test. Alright, check our brakes. Toe brakes are working. There's an old flying joke. That if it takes full power to taxi, you may have left your gear up landing. I don't know how funny that is, but I think it's kind of funny. There's a lot of great aviation humor. One of my favorites is, like they always say, you know, you can never have too much fuel. And then somebody pointed out, unless you're on fire. If you're on fire, you can have too much fuel. Alright, there we are, taxiway Bravo. So what I'm doing today, and I'm telling you, Sim Update 11 is, I think it's running superbly. I haven't had any problems with it. DX11 seems a little bit better than DX12 on me old system. And actually, now that I think about it, I have kind of some of my settings dialed down too. And it doesn't really look appreciably worse. It's pretty good, in my opinion. The clouds are awesome. The weather looks so good. This right here is exactly what the weather is like in Anguilla in this part of the Caribbean at this time of day. Those little clouds, those little puffy cumulus at like 1,800 feet, 2,000 feet. It's exactly what it's like. All right, taxi light coming on. Let's put a notch of flaps in. Fuel pumps are on. Mixtures and props full forward. Just want to roll this out just a little bit to see. Does anybody know of a program, by the way, that you can use to control like the GNS or the G1000, like to set frequencies and stuff without having to twist knobs. If you do, please tell me, because that'd be great. All right, we are ready for takeoff. Anguilla traffic, Anguilla 264, taking runway 11 for departure to the south, Anguilla. Listen to those engines, it's just awesome. Alright, mixtures and props full forward, fuel pumps on, flaps are set. Gosh, what a pretty night. I just flew the CRJ into Guadeloupe, and I did alright. I don't think people really like watching those CRJ videos that I post, so I'm probably not going to post any more of them. If you want to see them, let me know, because I like flying that plane, but I think people are more interested in watching me fly the Islander. Alright, heading indicator checks with the runway number, takeoff power is set, engine instruments are in the green, airspeed is alive, 65, 70 knots, and let's take off before we leave the runway. How's that? Alright, 200 feet AGL, let's put those flaps up. Props and power coming back. We're gonna get too extreme here. The nose up attitude. Gosh, this is beautiful. I just can't get over how beautiful this simulator is. I mean, you can talk all you want about performance and this, that, and the other thing. It's just gorgeous. 1,000 feet AGL, let's turn our fuel pumps off. Fuel pressures are okay. Alright, and let's stop doing that. Anguilla traffic, Anguilla 264, right crosswind departure off runway 11, departing to the south, Anguilla. Boy, is that just gorgeous. And see those clouds in the background there on the left? You're starting to get that sort of stuff now too, where there's just different, and you see the cumulus buildups and stuff. Like there's just different stuff going on. It's not just one. It's not just one. You know, like one layer of clouds or one type of cloud or whatever. It's just, it's so cool. And it looks like there's a plane coming into, there's somebody coming into Grand Cas right there. Let's have a quick look outside. It's funny, I think that, so my buddy Zarnell flies a whole bunch of different airplanes. I tend to stick to you know, at least a couple different, but relatively similar airplanes, right? Like, I don't go flying, like, you know, really different types of airplanes, like, all over the place. And he does, and I've kind of taken inspiration to get into doing that. Like, I think flying jets probably makes you a better piston pilot, and I think flying piston airplanes, I don't know if flying piston airplanes makes you a better jet pilot. I think flying jets makes you a better pilot, generally speaking. Gosh, look at this. This is the one thing you don't get flying jets. I mean, there's views that are nice, you know, like, for sure. But I mean, this is just stunning. Look at this. I mean, You know, if you came of age flying FSX, like, this is just almost beyond belief. It really is. And the other thing that's almost beyond belief is the fact that I can't stand this headphone thing on when I'm flying the Islander. I like hearing the, and I'm also going to turn up the vector data. And the clouds. These clouds are cool. So we're just, never mind the fact that I'm just horsing around there. See, now you can hear, you gotta hear this airplane. That's one of the things with this airplane, you gotta hear it. And there's somebody short final into, hey, look at that, see that? Right over there in the valley, that red light, see it? There's somebody going to the Grand Pass. I am just gobsmacked by the way this looks. I really am. I mean, this is, to me, the most beautiful place in the world. And the fact that they have legitimately recreated it well enough that I can enjoy it in my humble home. It's just, I don't know if you guys feel the same way. I'm just blown away. So, what I'm doing today, besides talking, somebody made a comment on one of my other videos about my feeble and often unsuccessful attempts to get into St. Barts. And I have a sneaking suspicion that this person knows what they're talking about. And so I took note of their explanation of how to get into St. Barts. And I'm going to go give their technique a shot because my technique sucks. Look at this. I'm going to be repeating myself. Jeez. Why would you be anywhere else? Why would you be anywhere else? It looks like we're going to get a little bit of rain over here in the way, which is not uncommon. You get little sprinkles. So, I believe it was AXA Power person who gave me this recommendation on how to do this. Oh, how cool. So the instructions are sugar loaf, pull your power, hold your nose up until you get the 100 knots, keep the nose up, descend at 500 feet a minute, put the first notch in, full forward on the props, keep your power low, second rock, you want descent rate of 800 feet a minute, full flaps, adjust your pitch and power for 80, top of the hill 80, cut your power, nose over down the hill, level off over the runway, and then put your flaps up to the takeoff position to drop those mains onto the runway. And I have a feeling this person knows what they are talking about. So this weather's just, it's in the last like week that I've noticed that the weather is just stunning. Let's see, St. Barts, traffic Anguilla 264, 8 miles to the north inbound runway 10, St. Barts. I flew from Miami down to Guadalupe today, in the CRJ. The flight I actually took with American Airlines. And there were some huge buildups over Puerto Rico, which you would expect with the mountains there, right? You get the, what's the phrase I'm trying to think of? It's a big word that ends in metric. It's how you get the ortho. Man, look at this weather. Alright, so I like flying the CRJ. It's just it's a totally different thing than flying this. And I have a feeling that after flying the CRJ, if I were to go like in the Warrior or even the Arrow or even the TBM and go to fly an instrument approach in that airplane, in one of those airplanes, it would be so easy because I'm used to going at 290 knots in the descent, you know. Alright, let's go fuel pumps on it. So we'll see how this works. I don't know if I'm going to get it exactly right, the sequence, but I'm going to certainly try it. The one thing I don't want to do is start out 200 feet too high. That's exactly what I'm going to do. St. Bart's traffic, Anguilla 264 left base runway 10 St. Bart's. See, that's the kind of thing that I haven't been seeing, those quick flips of the weather. We got Sugarloaf right in front of us. Alright, we're getting there. St. Bart's traffic, Anguilla 264, Sugarloaf inbound 10 St. Bart's. Okay, we're going to pull the power way back. We're getting the descent at 500 feet a minute. 90 knots. Or at 100 knots, rather, sorry. First notch, full forward of the props, power low. St. Bart's traffic, Anguilla 264, short final 10 St. Bart's. Second rock descent rate of 800 feet a minute. Second notch. Make sure some props move forward. level off. First notch of flaps up. Powering, going around. Alright, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. Alright. St. Bart's traffic, Anguilla 264, going around 1110 St. Bart's. Wasn't too bad. I mean, I'll definitely give that, approach credit. I mean, whoopsie. As a theory, I think that's certainly incredible. Of course, I have a feeling the person that told me this is talking from experience, like real life experience, and what works in real life might not exactly work in the simulator. St. Bart's traffic, Anguilla 264, turning left base runway 10 St. Bart's. Yeah, 20 knot headwind, that's what I figured. That's what I figured. Nope, you're not going up. You and I have talked about this, and we're not going up. Yeah, with that strong headwind, give you a really low ground speed. St. Bart's traffic, Anguilla 264, Sugarloaf down 10 St. Bart's. Let's power back here. Okay, 100 knots is what we want. First notch of flaps, pull forward on the props. power is out. Ooh. One of the greatest bounces of all time, ladies and gentlemen, right there. That was kind of wild. I mean, but I actually think there's quite a bit of merit in this, do the victory lap. I think there's quite a bit of merit in this theory as presented by this, the viewer in question. You gotta get right over the top of that. I mean, to say that I had that yoke in my lap when I hauled back on it to get to keep from smashing nose first into the ground is the understatement of the century. St. Bart's traffic, Anguilla 264 back taxing, runway 10 St. Bart's. I mean, I touched down level, I think, which is pretty sweet, really. But I did so in a state of surprise. Mixtures are lean for taxing. Flaps up. Pumps off. And what I mean is, like, I pulled back as hard as I could on that yoke, and just managed to keep from smashing into the ground. But if you watch them, I mean, they are literally like a couple feet above the ground when they do this approach down that hill. So I think this person's right about what they're talking about. I think you just got to get it. You got to get it on the ground quite nicely. I'll be interested to go back and watch this St. Bart's traffic, Anguilla 264, clear the runway, St. Bart's. I will be interested to go back and watch this flight. It's kind of hard to really get a feel for what's going on when you're trying to keep from dying. Of course, I could just do the obvious thing and text my buddy Wayne and ask him how he does it, because he does this landing every day in an Islander in real life. Alright, let's go. Take off, flaps in. Fuel pumps on. We're going to go back to... What do you want to go back to? You want to go back to Anguilla or St. Maarten? I kind of want to go back to St. Maarten. I want to go to St. Maarten, I think. That's quite an operation, whoever's got that going on over there. St. Bart's traffic, Anguilla 264, taking runway 10 for departure to the north, Anguilla. St. Bart's. I always do that. People hear me on the radio and they're like, what is this guy doing? Alright. Runway is correct. Takeoff lights coming on. Or takeoff lights. Landing lights. Alright. Mixtures and props will forward. Flaps are set. Fuel pumps are on. Takeoff power is coming in. Takeoff power is set. This airplane is going to get off the ground so fast. Watch this. Airspeed is alive. Accelerating normally. Right into a 20-knot wind. ourselves is with a bunch of flaps and power back here. It's a good goal to have. Try not to kill yourself. Alright, 1,000 feet AGL. Let's turn those fuel pumps off. Fuel pressure is okay. Let's keep it pitched for 90. There's 1,500. Yeah, if it comes off, I'm set. Anguilla, I want to see you again. I would like to see you again. Princess Juliana traffic. Anguilla 264 is 10 miles to the south, inbound runway 1064. Princess Juliana. Again, I'm gonna sound like a real genius. I think I'd rather have this job than flying 747s, at least on days like this. I'm sure there are days when the flying the Islander is not that glamorous. Getting tossed around in crappy weather. It's the thing about jets, I mean one of the really big differences is the ability to get above weather. You just can't do it in this airplane. I mean, you know, might be able to get up above, you know, some weather, but you're certainly not going to get up above, you know, called cumulonimbus thunderclouds. Whereas in jets you can, and especially if you get into something like a Phenom 300 or a Learjet or some of these other ones, you can get up to 45,000 feet. I mean, you can get above weather in those airplanes. And here we come in on Philipsburg, capital of Dutch St. Maarten. Yeah, it's gonna be right down the runway. Philipsburg is cool. I had a good time walking around there. Let's see, we're getting blown over to the right here. The old feet on the rudder pedals here. Let's go. Fuel pumps on. Power back here a little bit. Princess Juliana traffic. Anguilla 264. Entering a right downwind for runway 10. Princess Juliana. Mixtures and props are full. No, mixtures of water flaps are up. The pumps are on. I like that place too. Mary's Boone, that place was a good time. I really enjoyed it there. Simpson Bay. Alright, the beam numbers, put in a notch of flaps. A little bit high, so just let it keep coming down, keep trickling down, keep trickling down. I have a good one here. Princess Juliana traffic, Caribbean 264, making a right base runway 10, Princess Juliana. Put in that next notch of flaps. Do some trimming. Juliana traffic, Anguilla 264 turning 2 mile final runway 10 Juliana. Mixtures and props are pulled forward. Ground speed is going to be nada coming in here, so I gotta keep some power in if we get below glide slope. Juliana traffic, Anguilla 264, short final 10 Juliana. Awful. Awful, 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 awful. Alright. Yeah, time to try and make up for that. That was just, you know, it's just running out of energy. It's just running out of energy. All I'm doing. Running out of energy. Princess Juliana, traffic Anguilla 264 is clear the runway. Princess Juliana. Suppose let's just leave those on, clean the mixtures a little bit. Flaps to take off. I mean, it's just. You know what's funny? Actually, I didn't tell you guys this. I went flying in the real plane for the first time in quite a while the other day in my Cherokee, and I had the most beautiful approach and landing in that airplane the other day that I've had in a long time. It was just 2 whites, 2 red, right at speed. It was just awesome. Juliana traffic, Anguilla 264 taxi to runway 10 via taxiway Alpha, Juliana. Just an awesome approach and landing. Which reinforces my theory that flying real airplanes is easier than flying sim airplanes. It really is. You can feel so much more in a real airplane. You can feel when that thing is telling you, I ain't got more to give. You need to give me some power here. Juliana traffic, Anguilla 264, taking runway 10 for departure to the north. Left crosswind departure off 10, Princess Juliana. You can just feel it. You can feel when it starts to drop, you can feel when it starts to slow down. Trim is set, fuel pumps are not on. This is why we have checklists. Fuel pumps on, flaps are set, mixtures and props full forward. Heading indicator checks with the runway number. Takeoff power coming in. Takeoff power is set. Engine instruments are in the green. Accelerating normally. 70 knots. And rotate. Flaps. this is what they fly this airplane at on this flight, 1,000 feet. Anguilla traffic, Anguilla 264 is 5 miles to the south inbound runway 11. Anguilla. Well, it was an interesting flight. Always is. I never get tired of flying around here. This has been DX11, by the way. Very, very smooth. Had a couple pauses in the CRJ lately, but not one of those people who really complains about that all too much. Having a burger, I bet. Down at the FBI. Anguilla traffic, Anguilla 264, 2 mile right base runway 11. Sandy ground over there. Never really hung out there. No anything against it, I just never really did. Alright, we're gonna go
Juliana traffic, 721 Alpha Bravo, 7 miles on final runway 10. Juliana traffic.
Anguilla traffic, Anguilla 264, mile and a half final runway 10, Juliana. Anguilla, sorry. And this is gonna get scuzzy too. You know why? Because what I'm doing is I'm pulling the nose up to keep from descending, and that's not how it's done, kids. It's not how you do it. It's crappy airmanship. Crappy airmanship. Now I can pull a little bit of power out and pull the nose up to bleed off some airspeed, but yeah, I didn't need a pause right there. That's okay, because there's a truck in the middle of the runway, so they can come out and say hello. And actually, this is why I would tell you, I think there is a risk of spending a lot of time in jets and thinking that you're a good pilot.
Juliana traffic, 721 Alpha Bravo on short final runway 10, Juliana traffic.
Because jets are all about momentum. You start ramming your throttle up and back like I've been doing. That kind of technique in a jet, you are toast. You are done for. Just piss poor airmanship on my part. Absolutely terrible flying. And I'm not going to blame it on the simulator and be like, it's, you know, the physics aren't right or whatever. But getting an airspeed, getting your trimmed airspeed, and then adjusting your sink rate with your power. And I'm sitting here like literally hauling back. Power to idle. Oh gosh, you didn't even put the props full forward. That's alright. Mixtures to idle. Cut off. Throttles are idle. Let's set the parking brake. Put the flaps up.
Juliana traffic, 721 Alpha Bravo, clear of active runway, Juliana traffic.
Let's turn the avionics master off. Let's turn the lights off. Let's turn the mags off. I didn't turn the fuel pumps on. Okay. Don't take anything that I tell you seriously, because that's poor flying. Yeah, just poor flying. Fun flying though. I like the technique into Juliana, into St. Bart's. I think that's really cool, and I will definitely keep giving that a go. But we'll see. We'll see. This was some poor flying tonight. And I'm just sitting there, to keep myself from descending, I'm just hauling back on the yoke. And, like, that's not how you do it, you know? And then, anyway, I hope you guys are doing well, and we'll talk soon.